Alright, so back on today's Warrior.
What episode is this?
8?
8?
9?
8? 9?
Did we already do 8?
I thought it was 6, but what the hell do I know? Jesus Christ, Pete.
No, definitely not.
It's 8 or 9.
I think it's 8. I think it's...
What do we do with Ben?
Are we starting over?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Alright.
We're trying to figure it out as we go.
And remember, if you follow us,
What do they get?
you need a life.
Because we're not that smart.
on YouTube.
Alright, in all reality, what we are talking about today, we're just doing some lessons for our online academy. And we're how we like to, how our vision is, that thing clicked?
Keep talking.
So our vision with kind of what we do is, evolving martial arts and becoming, I was just writing stuff earlier today, but think about kind of the Jeet Kune Do method of martial arts. And a lot of people, especially whether you're Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, grappling or whatever, a lot of people always have, oh, this is better, that's the way to do it, this is the way to do it, he does it this way, I do it this way, did you see that way, he did this technique. And our concept and approach, I think, is a little different, where we try to take a little piece of everything and put it together. But I don't even
We like to take what works. We like to find stuff that's, even if it's a technique that's better than something that we're already practicing, and if it works and it feels good, then we employ it. We bring it in and try to find a spot for it, and if it doesn't work, well.
But that's a really good concept that we try to give our students, and that I think everybody should have when they're learning any martial art or jiu-jitsu, is that they have to explore and develop themselves. And what I was thinking we talk about is kind of like the differences between, let's say, let's pick Japanese jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, judo to a certain degree, because that has some relation to Japanese jiu-jitsu. And we can throw some sambo in there, we can throw some no-gi in there, we can talk about Tai Chi grappling. I wasn't making that shit up. I don't know if it's Tai Chi grappling.
Tai Chi.
So, Pete, I wanted to ask you, because we were talking about earlier, I told you to shut up, and I wanted to, you first started training, now correct me if I'm wrong, tell me how because you've trained with,
Okay.
you're mostly do BJJ now.
Yeah, I'm a purple belt BJJ guy. That's what I do.
You got that
And
through Formiga.
Through Formiga,
Yep.
Rafael Formiga Barbosa.
Yep.
I'm a Soul Fighters. But the thing is, I started late in life, and I might have been 45 or 46. I forget. I'm 52. Anyway, the point is, I prefer Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Why?
Because it works for me.
Not saying, now when we're saying any of this stuff, I what kind of preface all that? If I ask a question or I just like curious,
Okay.
I'm not taking a shot at
Right.
any martial art. Because they all have value. But go ahead.
So here's the deal. So basically, the reason I could talk about this a little bit is because I did both. So the reason I did both is because I was doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I was training, but it really wasn't structured enough for me. In terms of like a weekly lesson plan or this or that, it would be all over the place. You go in there and there's like one lesson, and you go next time there's a completely other lesson for an acrobat that I couldn't do, and then there's another lesson for
Right.
different body type. So
And that's typically how BJJ is taught.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it is taught more of, I think BJJ is learned and taught through rolling, and the techniques are like concepts or ideas.
And everyone, learns differently. They learn at their pace, and for me, it clicked in later, like quicker, as opposed to the beginning was very slow. But anyway, 2 reasons I went to Japanese Jiu-Jitsu at the same time, simultaneously. One was because there was a kid who was like 12 at the time, and he studied with Sean, and
Sean or someone else?
this guy right here next to you.
No. What was the kid Sean? Is that who?
No, it's not Sean.
No, you dumbass. You know that guy Sean who trains with Sean?
No, it's not.
Sean Donis.
It's not purple belt Sean.
Okay, that's what I was asking about.
No, he.
Fucking hey. Cut!
Let me tell the story.
I was curious.
Fucking
Sorry.
mother hen.
With
With a beard.
Mother hen.
Mother hen with a beard. I was curious.
Yeah, got it.
That's all.
No, it's not Sean.
Because we're talking about
Donis.
like centuries ago. I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, so it was another kid. It was a kid, Greg.
I don't know. Greg.
Eric's son.
Greg is Eric's son.
Yeah. So anyway, I was way bigger than him and all that kind of stuff, and he was a kid. But you know, he had really good technique. He had good technique with arm bars, things like that. He really understood it, and he trained with Sean. So I'm saying, shit, this kid, you know, really understood arm bars, this and that. They're very clear to him. He learned it in a very clear fashion, where he could then explain it to someone else. So that was one reason. Another reason was I did a competition, and I didn't do well in the stand-up, and I got so pissed off that I said, I gotta learn stand-up. So I went right away to Sean's place, which was in my town, which is now a TRITAC-Jitsu place, and because of that kid. So anyway, so I trained, and they have charts, so it's much more structured. So they, you know, they go over the moves, you know, very specifically, and you know, every week you go over it. So that was really good for me. So, but the thing is, that wasn't the complete answer, because when you roll live in BJJ and people are going hard with you, you know, what comes out comes out. You don't remember, or at least for me,
Right.
you know, I can't pull up charts in my head and stuff like that.
You go through repetitions to get a movement pattern.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just remember, oh, that's how I do an armbar, right?
And I rolled with, you know, guys who did both, and one guy, Court, you know, I
Court's
rolled with him.
badass, yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, by the way, Court has listened to every single one of our Today's Warriors, so
Thank you, Court.
Hey, Court, and
Thanks,
send us an
man.
awesome message, so thanks, Court, we love you, brother.
Yeah, Court, we're talking to you.
I keep going.
So I rolled with him a number of times, and I could be completely wrong, but he has a lot of information.
Court is one of the
Right?
best martial artists
He's
I've
an
come across in my
encyclopedia.
life.
He
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
all this stuff. I noticed when I'm rolling with him, I don't think much, and I could be completely wrong again. But I noticed, like back then, this is not now. This is years ago. His computer was going on in his head. Like I could tell, like he was kind of thinking things out. And it's not like, again, it's not a criticism. So so I had that, you know, kind of happen to me, you know, when I was, you know, doing Japanese kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, I prefer the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stuff because, you know, it's like trial by fire. You go in there and, you know, you roll or you get smashed. But you keep getting smashed, you get better and better.
Yeah.
But but I took great things out of Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, the stand-up stuff. You know, things are explained more specifically, and then you know, I applied them to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's it's not a knock at Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, because my background was strongly in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu through Kobukai, but Kobukai Shan Russ was always very, kind of had that, kind of put the spark of evolution in my brain anyways. You know, he had always kind of taken it to, you know, instead of like doing regular like Japanese Jiu-Jitsu randori, or, you know, not really doing a lot of groundwork, or not really doing much guard work that you see in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, he was always like researching to kind of bring those in to make them, you know, useful elements in your fighting ability with Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. But I've seen a Japanese Jiu-Jitsu that is very, not rigid, but sometimes it can be very, it is kata-based, but like, you know, you're going through a certain sequence and there's no ability to fight with it, because it's like, you know, the technique looks beautiful, but there's no application of it, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
I like using the word static. You know,
That's a great word,
You're practicing the techniques. The guy's standing there. He's waiting for you. You throw the punch. You're leaving it out there so we can
Right.
practice it. And I think
it looks great when it's done.
it does. And I think you can apply some of those techniques to fighting. But if you're not fighting,
Yeah.
if you're not trying to incorporate it, if you're just practicing those things and not doing that fighting aspect of it, that fighting side, then you're stuck and you're trapped with that.
And that's
you can start getting too fancy and too far out with.
And not to take a knock at Aikido,
With that.
but I mean, if you kind of look at Aikido, which is basically not watered down Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, it was the more of the elite, you know, Aikido Jiu-Jitsu is more the kind of elite, and then it kind of got, yeah, not watered or flowed out, I don't know how to say it, to what became the difference in Aikido and Aikido Jitsu, but it's much more fluid and energy, and, you know, but that stuff gets too far out there, like, it's like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
But I want to hold one more point, sorry, Pete.
It's okay.
What I think, because you said, you know, all those techniques can be usable, I think all those techniques have incredible value and can be very, very useful, but it to go back and is that application. And what makes BJJ so effective is the fact that you spend half a class applying it through rolling. You know what I mean? So,
And no one's giving it to you.
no one's giving it to you. No, so if you,
And they're trying to do it on you.
yeah, and I think that's kind of one of the biggest secrets.
At the same time, while you're trying to do it on them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What makes like combat martial arts great? Muay Thai, boxing, MMA, BJJ. wrestling is that they're live a lot, you know, and they're taking the concepts and techniques and like, let's make it work, let's test it. And if it, you know, if you got this great fancy looking technique, but you can't pull it off on a guy, you know, half your size and trying to go at you, then maybe it's not the best technique in the world, you know what I mean? Sorry, go ahead, Pete.
That's okay. But I stopped Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. The reason or the reasons are that there's a limited amount of time. You know, I did it for a few years. It helped me out. But I don't want to insult anyone, but what I didn't like about it was I wish I could study specific things that I needed to study, but we covered a lot of different things. So at my age, you know, I'm not going to be, you know, having proper form with punches or blocks or, you know, it's...
Sounds like he's knocking me after I met that time in my school.
This fucking guy,
No,
you know.
I'm just saying, I wish I was driving today.
I'm just saying, it's just... Now it's different with the TRITAC-Jitsu and the stuff you guys are developing because you took all the stuff that really works. Now I want to be back in it, but it's a time commitment. But I mean, I'm not trying to insult anyone, but that's the truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I've limited amount of time, I got to learn what I got to learn, and...
You were there for a different reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're young and if you want to be a complete martial artist, and it's different. It's just with my body type also, I can't do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's too. It's not like we're doing with TriTac anything new or revolutionary. I mean, I believe it is an evolution because it's we're taking all those theories and merging them together and making them very combative and real with drills and techniques and flows. So I think the way we are applying what we do is different. But you know, the Ogoshi throws, you know, any throw, it's like, well, that's a Japanese Jiu-Jitsu throw. It's a judo throw that's been used for centuries, and you know, it's just been modified, or you know, the way we apply the throw evolved. The way we apply is different, but it's not like we're making some new style. You know, it's a new system of jiu-jitsu, but it's not still fucking jiu-jitsu. And you're being very quiet today. You don't feel good, huh?
No, I'm fine. I don't have a lot of martial arts experience.
Martial arts.
Martial arts. You just made that up on the spot.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Martialarts.com. Available. But you're doing BJJ.
I
now.
started doing BJJ, back in probably January.
What's your now? But you watch all
Yeah.
my classes. I mean, because you're here obviously teaching.
Yep.
And I see you peeking over the fence sometimes. What is your, from outside looking in? What would you say would be the difference between like BJJ that you see maybe Formiga or during a competition class or whatever, or you're in doing class, compared to TriTac-Jitsu or you know what I do? No, again, I'm asking for just what your impressions are.
Yeah.
I don't care what is better because they're both fucking awesome. It's just what you like.
Well, obviously, your class focuses more on the stand-up stuff, like entering in the throws and then some stuff on the ground. I mean, they both look. I like doing the BJJ. It's cool. It's really good cardio. It's I like doing the techniques and stuff, and I like watching your class as well. At some point, I like to get in and do some of them. Just a different thing, more like you said, more striking, more like the throws and stuff. I mean, that stuff looks really cool too. I mean,
I personally love that shit.
Like it.
The combative side is
fun
very
to watch.
sexy to me.
Yeah.
But then beautiful BJJ is very sexy to me too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? When you see like guys like Formiga, Haffa, or just some of the I can't think of all of them right on top of Jesse.
Yeah.
When you watch them move and how they flow, you're like, oh my fucking god, it's like jiu-jitsu porn, but
I'd say jiu-jitsu poetry,
don't Google that. That's
don't
probably
Google,
a thing.
yeah.
Let's see
MattBattle.com. We'd like to give a shout out to Matt Battle. Any new, go check that site out. Yo, I always try to fuck with the white belts coming in. Best technique website ever. MattBattle.com. You been there yet?
No.
Oh, you're gonna go look at it later. You and Pete on the way home.
Oh boy.
I don't even know if it still exists anymore. I'm lying. I go there every day. All right, on a weird subject. Okay.
Yeah, that's
so,
deteriorated a little bit.
no, jiu-jitsu. No, how jiu-jitsu is beautiful, and when you watch like Formiga and Jesse or any of those people roll, and how they're just how I find that sexy, but also how I find combative sexy as well. I just love personally. I just love the combative aspect of things, and I like what jiu-jitsu was originally meant for, especially when the Gracies started evolving it. When they kind of put that initial spark of evolution, they made it more they took Japanese Jiu-Jitsu or Kobukai Judo and made it into BJJ. You know, had a little more groundwork to begin with, but I just think that stuff is. You know, I love the combative aspect when you just kind of.
You just like to punch people in the
I like
face.
to punch people in the face.
Yeah.
But I like this thing. The whole it's like full blown. It's like boom, bam. You know, it's like finish. You know, I love that feel.
I think, you know, if you grew up at the time when I grew up, like fighting wasn't necessarily frowned upon. You know, like if you were fighting in school, you'd get in trouble, but you wouldn't get thrown out. You know,
Or cops
it was
called,
like,
or, yeah.
you know, like that's just, you know, in the neighborhood, like that was just something that
You did.
that
Kids
just
did, yeah.
went on a daily basis, and you know, if it wasn't your day, you'd go to bed going, oh, thank God it wasn't me today, but you know, but tomorrow it could be my day, and you know, you kind of grew up with that, and then, you know, that's just how.
Yeah. Now it's now our culture and mindset is a little different. Where now self-defense becomes more of a little spark, like shit ain't right. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a whole other fucking goddamn topic, but you know, shit.
Another day, another day.
Man, I can just. But the fear is a big driver for people why they start martial arts, and you know, and right now it's like, how can you not be a little concerned? But I'm sorry, Pete, you had your mouth open a couple times, like you want to say
It's okay.
stuff, and I started cutting you off, but
It's okay, man.
yeah. Justin, you were saying?
Yeah. So
No, go ahead.
So I just want to get back to my experience with Japanese Jiu-Jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I just want to go just a little further. So,
No, please.
So
Let's get
basically,
deep.
Sean might have taken that as an insult.
No, I didn't.
I didn't mean it, but
I didn't
but that's an interesting thing to talk about, because there's probably a lot of people out there who do one style or the other, and people who are in certain traditions might be insulted or might not like to hear.
That's the whole thing. Like,
So
people get so
it's-
egotistical
so-
over jiu-jitsu sometimes. Or just kind of pun, you know, playing with the title for this podcast, like jiu-jitsu versus jiu-jitsu or so, whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
because people get so fucking, you know, oh, this is better, that's better, this is better. I'm like, it's
cares?
fucking jiu-jitsu.
Like,
Who
it
cares?
doesn't
You
make
know,
a difference.
that's like old people that just get set in their ways, and that's it. And they study something for a long time. They
Yeah.
don't branch out. They don't try anything different, and they think that their way is the way.
It applies to anything, too, you know?
And it's just it's all a mutt. You gotta
But everything evolves and
Try it.
changes over time. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it dies.
absolutely.
And if you look at BJJ, how much that has evolved
Yeah.
in 20 years. And, BJJ, MMA, look at modern combative sports and how it always evolves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to be on the cusp of that evolution.
Yeah.
And that we ride that wave. But we're like, you know, for our BJJ, obviously, you know, if you look at, for me, it's always trying this, something new, showing a new technique. So, oh, did you see this there, that there, this there? What about doing this? I'm like, every single day he's evolving, and plus a lot of our top students, like, they cross train all over the place because it's like they want to learn and evolve. And I love that concept. I guess that really gets me excited. Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, someone comes in and they have a, you know, background in maybe Japanese Jiu-Jitsu or something else. Someone will come in, I did, I don't know the correct terms, Aikido, just that, or something with a lot of wrist locks. Or
Yeah,
something.
like,
The guy
Aikido,
comes in, you know, I studied this and I could nail you. And who says that when they come into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class? They can nail you, they're like a white belt. And I'm like, I'm like, okay. And
Yeah,
then,
great story,
and then
man.
you just, you know, no offense, beat the crap out of him because he has a big mouth. And I said, well, what about the stuff you're going to do? You know, like,
Next time,
we
I'll
do
get
in
you
class,
next
it works
time,
in
yeah.
class. I'll get you next time. And then same thing. It's like boom, 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 boom. You're sitting on his chest. And it's like, oh, okay, I thought you were going to wrist lock me and you're going to do this and that. And it's because no one just sits there and says, here you go.
Oh, no.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Right.
That's that static.
You know?
That's.
Yeah, they know their
static
technique
learning.
works, but like, yeah, good luck grabbing a forearm or an arm like his and trying to go, I'm going to twist that, or Big Dave, fucking trying to grab
Oh, yeah,
Big
Big
Dave's
Dave,
wrist.
not
Like,
doing anything to him.
why am I even going to bother trying Aiki on you? I'm going to kick your fucking kneecap out. You know, something. Yeah, there's a lot of hitting before I even touch jiu-jitsu with you. Yeah, you too, you're too big. Shit, I had a fucking thing I was going to say and I completely, you distract me when you get up.
Yeah,
So
you,
much.
You had a story about somebody coming in.
The story, yeah. So there's a couple of them, but back in the day we used to train at Shion Russ's. Because it was a little more closed off, you had these challenger-ish guys come in who were like, oh, I studied here, I did this. And I remember there's this Kenpo guy who came in, and he was so he thought his shit could not stink. And got on the mat one of the first times he rolled. It was like, you know, completely annihilated. And didn't show up. I think like one more class, didn't roll that class, and then never showed up again. But I just there's this one kid who came in. he had done jiu-jitsu before somewhere else, and he was really arrogant about it. And hey guys, we just have people walk in 1 second. Yeah, we're still training. Just give us like like another 10 minutes, we'll be done.
Okay.
All right, thanks guys. That's okay. We can leave that on there, Pete. There's people coming in and train.
Yeah.
We're going a little late.
It's an actual work.
Yeah, this
We're
is
a busy place.
We are busy. Yeah. So, well, guys, we have noon classes, noon rolling classes, and we're getting a little behind today in our time. So, yeah, I think it's funny when people have that ego when they come in. It's like, oh, I'm so much better. I can do this. I can do that. Then once you get your hands on it, I'm like, how'd that go for you? You know.
You know, with the evolution of martial arts, like we were talking about with the TRITAC-Jitsu, to me that's very exciting. I film it. I'm the video guy, the camera guy behind the scenes. I wish I had more time. My goal is to have more time to study it with you guys because I like how the direction changed, you know what I'm saying? Where you're fine-tuning, where you're taking things. Mm-hmm. And I see all the stuff we're doing, the flows, the white belt stuff, the classic throws applied, smart ways to enter, things like that. So I just think it's great, and I wish I had more time to, in my life, to just train martial arts full time. That's kind of is a goal.
Yeah.
So
pay my mortgage and train and teach.
Yeah.
And keep this place alive.
Yep.
And pay rent.
Pay rent. Well, that was my mortgage. And pay the rent. Yeah. Well, just keep this
Mortgage
place
in my
alive.
house.
Yeah.
Rent for the school.
We are accepting donations for our mortgage.
They're just kidding. They're just kidding.
I am.
Everybody send $20.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome if also like we started getting $20 in the fucking mail every day. That'd be cool. That's
Did you guys ever hear Suki Sales?
no.
Not to go off topic. You know who Suki Sales is,
yeah.
right?
I know he was this comedian back in like the late 60s, and he had a show on TV, a children's show. So one day
At the end of the episode, he said, "Hey kids," he goes, "I want you to go into your mom's purse and take out $1 and send it to me." And he put his address up or something, and all of a sudden, like all this money started.
Yeah.
Okay, so 229 Shunpike Road, Cromwell, Connecticut.
$1 is all you need.
You can put more than $1. There's inflation.
inflation.
Inflation. So like
Make it a 20.
Make it a 20. That appreciate it. Easy. Go to your mom's first.
Let me ask you a question. No. Shut up. So, with Sean. So Sean, you came from a Japanese Jiu-Jitsu background, and then you got to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu later. So what's that experience like for you? Because I told you about my experience of BJJ first.
On a real personal level, I wish I had done this.
sooner. The style that I came from,
My background didn't have much. We had techniques for the ground. I'd have to say like pretty much probably 75%
of what I know, I figured out on my own. There wasn't somebody saying, hey, you can do this to this or this
to this. And now, of course, thank God for YouTube and for Miga and everybody else here, because that's...
Now it's direct source. Yeah.
So I know that my...
Do you find yourself thinking a lot? Because you have a lot of knowledge of moves and stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, still...
Have you ever seen him roll and fight? Sean's a fighter. I don't think there's anything going on. He's just like... I'm just fine.
I think my ground game is lacking, so that's something that is a personal goal to work on that.
Like I said, I'm kind of limited. From one aspect, it's like people are going for things, and I know what they're going for.
For so I can kind of
Start recognizing.
I can resist and evade.
And then my brain is going, okay, now if I get out of this, what am I walking into? So I'm always thinking like my second escape, third escape, kind of thing, which is helping me learn. Mm-hmm. So I'm not like dominant on the mat. I'm not like taking advantage of the people
Or smashing other people.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that's just down the road. I'm not in any rush to.
What do you like about BJJ and what don't you like?
Well, I do believe that most fights will end up on the ground. They all start standing, which is why I like the stand-up part. I like the hitting, the smashing, knees, elbows. I really love elbows, hammers.
I love elbows, yeah.
Hammers, elbows.
And elbows, yeah. You hit a good hammer over there earlier today.
Hammers,
I can tell you
elbows.
Headbutts.
Yeah.
I like that. aspect though. I like throwing. I think one of the best feelings in life is throwing somebody to the ground and landing on them.
Oh, it's so sexy.
And that
I apologize, but I ain't gonna lie. I fucking love it.
And
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
when
that's so much fun.
when you knock the wind out of them,
Yeah.
when you hear them exhale,
exhale and then go, oh,
I bury the
and you
shit
go,
out of
oh,
that is freaking beautiful. I love that.
Bless you. Jesus.
But
Jesus
if you have,
Christ.
excuse me, if you have a shitty throw
When
and
you end up on the ground, you got to know what to do.
Yeah.
What to do.
Yeah.
So
you know, and you can't always strike on the ground. I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
it's another resource, but I like the technical aspect of that. I like that chess match.
Yeah. And I like the feeling I get afterwards. I like that exhaustion.
That comes with it after, and I like I like that feeling inside of going, man, like, you know, I guess it comes back to other martial arts. I've been doing martial arts for 30 years, gone through all the things, but it really comes down to, like you said before, you know, that the more I know, the more I don't know.
The more I know,
That
the more I suck.
suck.
One of my favorite lines ever.
And I like that feeling. I like that feeling of being a student again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I was ever really somebody
That
that.
thought I knew everything because I was always searching for something else. But I like.
And that's what will make us grow.
I like being.
Like being a martial artist, like learning.
I can say I like losing.
And from that aspect. My sensei, my original sensei had
This plaque on his desk and said, "You win. You how did he say it? You win by losing."
Yeah.
Which I remember walking in there going, "What the hell what kind of comment is that?" And then I was like, "Oh, I get it. Okay, yeah, I keep losing and I'm learning." And I remember certain instances that happened to me, and you know, somebody did something to me 2 or 3 times, and all of a sudden, you know, my brain went, "Oh, I know what this guy is going to do to me next time," and I had an answer for it. And then,
Right.
and I was just like, "Oh," and every time I see it coming out, it was
funny because the last time I rolled with Kenny, and then he did that to me, and I was like,
fuck, man. I'm like, you know, I remember like 20 years ago, like this guy kept doing this to me, and I knew it every time, and Kenny was just so sly.
and all of a sudden he did it, and I'm like, son of a bitch, like I knew how to get out of that, and you were
very
just so
talented.
sly.
Oh, Kenny's
He's more than jujitsu.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I was
good,
like,
very
a
talented.
lot of skills, right?
Very, very talented. We'll leave it at that.
I was like, didn't see it coming. But anyway, that's mine.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of close it up by saying one thing, kind of my quick comparison and what I like and what I don't like. BJJ for me is that creativity, the training, the feel, the fighting, in a really like safe way. 'Cause rolling, you know, I'm fucking injured from it right now, but like, you know, rolling is a great way to like train and get the feeling of fighting and learning, right? But the more I do it, the more I realize it's all the same. If I'm standing up, whether I'm on the ground, it's just how to apply it a little differently. You know, like it's just jujitsu, and how the application of it is what makes it different.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's still like you can, if you're a great ground fighter and you start learning some basic stand-up principles, it's still grappling, it's still jiu-jitsu. You just now have to apply it a little differently. You know, all the sweeps and stuff that you do on the ground, I mean, it's kind of the same thing standing. You just got to see it that way. And that mind switch, and then the drilling of getting it is what gets you there. But it's what do you like to do? Do you like fighting on the ground? Do you like training? Do you like competing? Go do BJJ. If you want to learn some combatives, you know, then you're gonna go TRITAC, and you'll learn how to fight with Jiu-Jitsu. You can do TRITAC-Jitsu.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more of a classical style of, you know, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu and learn the throws and Aikido components of it, then go do that. Really, it's all the fucking same. It's just all fucking cool. But yeah, that's we got some guys about to roll in and get their rolling and get their training because they want to improve in Jiu-Jitsu as well. So guys, please like, subscribe, find us on SoulFightersAcademy.com. We have a free 3-part martial arts course on TRITAC-Jitsu, TRITAC Unarmed, as well as BJJ with Formiga and Jiu-Jitsu for MMA with Tankino. And that's it. Mr. Talker, do you have anything else to say?
No.
Tune in next time.
Soul Fighters.
Soul Fighters.
Good job.
Subscribe, like,
Share!
share.
Soul Fighters. Bye guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. Good night.